and Atreo from Mumbai outside of the Wankhede Stadium, and of course Bharat Ramraj. It's test number 3 between India and New Zealand, and right now when our India are desperate for a start on the right foot. Atreo, tell us about the conditions there. What's the mood like? And of course, how desperate do you think India is for a win right now?
For a change, we are not discussing the weather on the day of a first day of a match. Well, let me go back a few weeks when we in Bangalore. It was overcast, it was raining, it was gloomy. When we reached Pune, it was again completely the opposite. It was very hot and humid. The weather changed, but the Indian team's fortunes did not. As we approach the first last test over here at the Wankhede Stadium, I think India will be desperate for a win, no doubt about that, because the series is gone, we all know, but there are World Test Championship points to be earned over here. If they win this, it will, to whatever extent, it will restore India's chances of qualifying for the final. Gargi.
Ishan, I'm going to play the visuals, but also tell us about what's the mood like over there. Seems like a lot of people have actually showed up to watch the game.
Yes, Gagi. I mean, it's a decent turnout. I wouldn't call this too many people actually. But when I used to come normally for the IPL and for some other matches, used to see a lot more people coming in. Obviously, it's a Friday, so some of I'm sure there will be a lot of people who must be having work as well, and with Diwali. But it's a decent turnout, Gagi. Overall, as you can see, there are people tuning in for this game, but I could have expected more. One of the reasons I feel is because maybe India is also too down at the moment. If that last test match was 1-1, maybe we could have expected a lot more crowd. I think Afterza also can agree on this. But it's a decent turnout. I've spoken to a few people as well. They're all excited. They all are pretty hopeful as well that India can still make it to the WTC. It's looking tough, obviously, but let's see how it goes, Gagi. But I'm happy that people are still turning in. And I'm guessing that people might possibly coming later in the day or even tomorrow and the after. We might see bigger crowd turnout later in the day and tomorrow and the after.
I think once people find out what the toss result is, then the crowd start pouring in कि India batting कर रही है, bowling कर रही है, पहले वो देख लेते हैं, फिर जाएंगे. That's the thing with Test cricket. But Bharat, similar question to you that I asked Athreo. Uh, how desperate will India be for a win right now? Because when you think of the WTC final, there's a lot of permutations and combinations going in, and it's not a sure shot anymore.
Yeah, I don't think it is just about the WTC finally. First of all, you want to win a game. Somewhere India would want to win a game. They've lost two in a row. That also at home. It doesn't happen. When was the last time India lost two in a row, two test matches in a row at home? Even yeah, against England 2012. So long time back that it happened. So first of all, they would want to win a test match. That would give them some confidence going into that test series in Australia. So it's all about taking one step at a time. If India start thinking World Test Championship final and all that, they might even go on to lose this particular test match. So take one step at a time, break it down to simple things, look to win this test match, and go to the tour of Australia with a sense of confidence.
Absolutely. Atra, we have a comment here. Freaking awesome asking. New Zealand haven't crossed 300 mark in an innings in 3 tests. They have played in Wankhede. Will they break that record too this time? I love how this question is phrased because he could have easily said, will that streak continue? But he said, no, will they break it? What do you think?
I don't exactly. I'm not sure if I get the question, but talking about New Zealand's collective batting effort, I would say that yeah, they have done well. I mean, they have exceeded expectations to an extent because they really dug in, applied themselves, especially on a difficult pitch in Pune, where it was the ball was turning and stopping a bit. It wasn't easy to score runs, and that's where they I mean, they really applied themselves and got themselves to a decent total in both innings. I think that was the big difference between the teams in the previous Test match. And again, if you go back to Bangalore, it was conditions were easier for batting when New Zealand were batting, and they somehow managed to push the score beyond 400 from 230 odd for seven. So it's been a very good batting performance from New Zealand. We were all expecting that Indian spinners will run them over. That didn't happen. And I think their cause in Pune in the second innings was eased to an extent by India's decision to not use Bumrah for more than 6 overs. I think that's where India missed a trick, and New Zealand capitalized on that. Rajiv.
And Ishan Bharat, we have the toss update. New Zealand have won the toss and opted to bat first. How does this change things for India? Is this a good toss to lose? What do you think?
I don't think this is a good toss to lose because obviously they've kept it on the drier side. So New Zealand, even if someone goes to Tom Latham and wakes him up at 2 a.m. in the night, what would you do if New Zealand wins the toss? I'm pretty sure he would say bat first. So New Zealand would be extremely happy because what I see is they kept it slightly on the drier side, the track. So expect it to help spinners as the match progresses. The one time India won the toss in this series, they got it completely wrong at the first test, and since then it has been all New Zealand. So yeah, it's going to be tough from here for India. They have to bowl New Zealand out for a score of around 200 220 in the first innings, and then look to build on it.
India have lost the toss, and the other interesting update is that Jasprit Bumrah is not in the team. Mohammad Siraj has replaced Jasprit Bumrah in the playing 11. Ishan Atreo, before I go to Atreo, Ishan, what do you think of the toss? And of course, now Jasprit Bumrah not being there, this was a crucial match.
It is, Gagi, definitely. I think, there must have been some thought process and planning behind this, but with him not part of the side, it definitely dents that bowling lineup. I've also said that in the past, I've always believed that Bumrah in this Indian side and Bumrah without not playing in this Indian side, are two different sides altogether. So India will definitely miss his presence, but an opportunity has arisen here, and Mohammad Siraj will have to take it with both hands, and hopefully he can. India will have to bowl well, Gagi. I think the New Zealand side has batted reasonably well in this Test series, and I'm sure they'll be booming with confidence now coming to this final and third Test. They'll be looking to get a clean sweep. India will look to come back strong, so I think getting early wickets is the key. And if they do that, I think we might have the upper hand. But getting early wickets is the key. We can't let partnerships build like they've normally let them build. And I think Indians will want to bank on that group of fast bowlers that they have as well, because the Wankhede does provide a little bit of purchase early on with the new ball as well.
Yeah, because getting a lot of comments. Rohit Sharma has specified that Bumrah is not well, and that's the reason for his replacement. He's not being rested, he's just not well. So he's being replaced by Mohammad Siraj. Another news is that Mitchell Santner also has a side strain. So Henry comes in. Ish Sodhi and Henry have come in for Santner and Tim Saudi. Atriyo, what are you thinking of this first on Bumrah? Of course, does this change a lot of things?
Well, I would have been very surprised if had India chosen to rest Bumrah for this match, because there was sufficient time of sufficient gap between these two test matches. Officially, there were 3 days between the second and third test, and because the match got over in 3 days in Pune, they got two additional days. So I don't think there was reason to rest Bumrah. And as you said, as Rohit Sharma has clarified that he has not been rested, he is not well. In that case, you can't help it. And Henry's inclusion will certainly boost New Zealand, because in my opinion, Henry was the standout bowler in Bangalore. I mean, he not necessarily he took 5 wickets in the first innings, and although the other fast bowler, Root also took a few wickets, I thought Henry was a very very handy bowler, and he'll still be a good bowler, good option over here, because although the pitch is on the drier side and likely to assist spin, and Santner, a bowler in form, who took 14 wickets in the previous match, sorry, 13 wickets in the previous match. It would have been quite a handful over here as well. But Henry is not a bad replacement, because this kind of bowling, uh, of course, I mean, conditions ideally are not loaded in his favor, but he can be quite useful in these conditions as well. So I think it's a bit of a bittersweet kind of a thing for both sides. I mean, the bowlers they wanted to use, they are unable to because of I mean, because of physical conditions. So that's a, I mean, bit of a, I mean, neither side would have wanted this to happen. But anyway, test match, three-match series, a lot of things can happen. Players will have niggles here and there. So it's okay. Let's get on with.
Bharat, as you can see, there's the India playing 11: Yashasvi Jaiswal, Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Virat, Rishabh, Sarfaraz, Jadeja, Washington Sundar, Ashwin, Akashdeep, and Siraj. Bharat, we didn't get your thoughts on Jasprit Bumrah missing out, uh, because he's not well. Honestly, he's not well, so you don't have any other choice but to not take him in the team. But how deeply does this impact India?
Yeah, they seem to say the official version seems like he has some viral infection or whatever. Hopefully, he will recover soon. Yet, it should affect the Indian team obviously, because he's someone who is at the peak of his prowess, and the pitch at the Wankhede you expect a little more bounce, so he could have come into the equation a little more at this ground. Though New Zealand have usually played him the best. That is something we have to remember. Let it be ODI cricket or Test cricket. The one team that has handled Jasprit Bumrah the best is this particular New Zealand team. Most of their batters don't have a great deal of triggers when they play Jasprit Bumrah. So if you look at the records, they have the best record, I think, against Jasprit Bumrah when it comes to averages. So yeah, but it still would be missed. As far as the New Zealand side is concerned, I told you even in the second test that Sandner seems to be carrying some kind of side strain. I saw it on the TV and I thought he was just touching his side. It seems like that is a problem for him. He bowled a lot of overs in the second test, so that would have played a part. But the main thing is obviously Mohammad Siraj comes into the Indian side. He's been quite inconsistent at home. He has not performed well over a period of time. So this is a chance for Siraj to prove his worth in home conditions because they would want one of their paces to lead the attack.
Absolutely. And Ishan, even though you see the two teams, both have lost one of their best performers. In New Zealand's case, they've lost both Mitchell Santner and Tim Southee. But now it looks like an equal level playing field, and in Mumbai, but India have lost the toss now. What do you think? Can India do it this time around? How does it
Uh,
look?
yes, Gag, I think definitely it does seem like an even level field at the moment, but the New Zealand team will surely have the confidence, Gagi, of winning those two tests, which will give them that added momentum when they come into this third test match here. So I feel yet they might have that sort of added, that sort of added mental edge, in my opinion. But besides that, if you look at both the sides, the Indian team is obviously extremely strong on paper. So is this New Zealand side here. But I'm just worried of that, mental edge that this New Zealand side has over this Indian team at the moment. Those two test wins must have done them a world of good. So it's going to be a tough battle. It's not going to be easy. Wankhede is not going to be easy for India to go on and win. But hopefully they can put up a good contest here and we can expect a good test match to witness.
Through Rohit Sharma saying that they would have liked to bat as well, and now with the changes that we're seeing in the squad, how likely is India to win this match? I know it's a very vague question, but what how is it looking to you right now, the contest?
Well, India, winning the toss would have been an advantage if the pitch actually plays out dry and assists spin. It will get batting will get difficult as the match progresses. So it's a bad toss to lose, I would say. And I would like to add something here that this might just be the last Test match on Indian soil for a few players. I mean, we have Rohit who is 37, Ashwin approaching 38. There is Ravichandran Jadeja, there is Virat Kohli, and the next time India play at home, that's 1 year away. So there are no home test matches until October 2025. So that's a long time in cricket, and you don't know with aging bodies and changing priorities, people, veering more towards the franchise leagues and all that. So I mean, we're not sure. I mean, whether we'll see some of these stalwarts playing Test cricket in Indian soil again. So that's also a very momentous kind of an occasion. Looking at it from this point of view, and come back to your question. I mean, see, India will have to do well, and will have to look for a win because winning the toss and losing the toss is part of the game. You have no control over it. Good teams have the ability to overcome such things, and it's not a bad team. I mean, we must not judge them by their performance over 7 days, 4 days in Bangalore, 3 days in Pune. This team is better than that. They have done that in the past. So we shouldn't judge them on the basis of how they have done on the last 7 days. So I mean, 7 days of cricket that they have played, and I am hopeful that India will do better than they have in the first 2 days.
Bharat, final thoughts? You have to think about with the IPL retentions as well. Do you think back of the mind they're thinking about their contracts and what will happen at the auction?
Oh, but that is they are all professional sportsmen, so you expect them to switch on and switch off whenever they need to. Now it is time to switch on when it comes to cricket. All those things they have to ensure that they won't think of it when they are in the middle. So that is the life of a professional sportsman, and expect that. My final thoughts, obviously, this is a very good toss to win for New Zealand. I think there would be at the Wankhede always expect a little bit of moisture upfront. So that is something the Indian pace bowlers can look to utilize. Invariably, you get a little bit of moisture in the first hour at this particular ground. So that is something a consolation prize for the Indian team. If they can get a couple of wickets up front, then they can put New Zealand under a bit of trouble. But definitely, this is a good toss to win, and India have to play really well to come out on top.
I'm on mute. Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We'll leave you with some fan visuals. So take a look. Thank you so much, Ishan, Atro, and Bharat, and to everyone who's watching. Happy Diwali. And stay tuned because we've got lots more to come.
You can win it and you will win it. We want WTC finals trophy in India. We have already won T20. Now it's time for the test.
Awesome. Any last comments?
It is difficult because it is New Zealand. They are gonna win today.
WTC final India versus Australia at Lords, trophy coming here.